All right, Delane, so here's the retouching for blue screen or green screen. Obviously, I like blue screen more. There's less contamination on the outfits and on the hair. It's a lot easier to clean up, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So this is a file from Atlanta. Hang on, let me get to it. Um, it is Raw Atlanta 2013 0429. Raw Atlanta 2013 0429 in the Raw folder of McGuire Woods. And this woman is Jeanette McNeil. And there are two shots of her. I'm taking the first one, the first option. There's another one that's labeled number 2. Her hands are down, but I just grabbed this one. Her smile looked great, whatever. Okay, so here we are in the Raw. Open it up in Photoshop. And right now I use the fill light to open up her hair and her jacket just a little bit. And her skin's a little red, so I'm going to bring that back a little bit, and a little yellow now, so I'm bringing that back a little bit, just get a little bit more neutral. So there she is. I think she's pretty good shape. So I'm going to open the image. Okay. She's right there. Now normally what I do is I just use my cropping tool and just crop out some of the background. We don't need all that. Just kind of bring it down so it's a little bit smaller. Now I bring over my actions. Now on my actions, my first action is Holland Night Gray. It's just the one I've always used. All it does is it creates a gray, 50% background gray layer. So I'm just going to hit play on that, and once that's done, I'll go to my layers. Excuse me, and you'll see the two layers, her and the background gray. Background gray is important, so when you're doing the erasing, you can see it against something, and the 50% gray to me works fine. So she is good to go. Now on females, I like to use the, what's it called? The Portrait Professional Studio, because they want makeup and all that. I don't go heavy on it, but I do like to give them a little bit of a softness on their skin to kind of blend out their makeup. So I have that on a, I gotta find it. I have it on a plugin. Here it is here. So I'm just gonna bring it up. Okay, it's now running. Okay, here we are. I don't know what that warning is for. Alright, so right now it's finding faces. And the new version of this, number 7, as you can see, it automatically lines where everything is in the face. Where the old one, you had to set all these, you know, the lip size, the eye size, the eyebrow, but now it's all done. So now I click female, and now it's going to require that. So as you can see, here's the before and after. You can see she's not overly done here, but she just looks a little bit softer. And you can see on the foreground here, the complexion's a little rough. Up here, it's nice and smoothed out. I don't go crazy on this. I set my presets to woman 35 to 45 natural. I don't go glamorous or anything else. And then on all of the face controls, sculpt controls, I just tone it down. I don't want them to look like, you know, they're Photoshopped too much. So I tone everything down just enough so we get a nice, smooth complexion and everything else. So then I just hit next, return from plugin. Just take a second here. Please hold. Alright, so now she's done. Alright, and I'll zoom in. You can see how nice and pretty she is and all that. Complection's nice and smooth. Alright, now to remove the blue screen, what I do is I select the blue on the first layer all around. Let me bring up that tolerance to 30. It's just a little bit quicker. And just selecting all the blue, blah, blah, blah. Alright, it's all selected. Now, obviously the issue is around the hair, so what I do is I deselect, I'm going to zoom in, I deselect around the hair. So on a negative lasso, I just go in and just give her a halo of blue here. Now I have an action set up. I'm going to do it manually this time. We want to modify the selection. So go to select, modify, expand the blue area. I normally do 3 or 4 pixels. It's going to bring the selection into the person a little bit. That way we don't get a harsh blue halo. So I'm going to hit OK on that. And then it's also important to do a feather. And what I've found is 0.08 on the feather is ideal. It's not too fuzzy, it's not too crisp. And I just have those two set up on an action, but I'm doing this manually. So now she's all selected, she's modified, and now I'm going to hit Command X and knock out that blue. So now we have to knock out the blue around the hair. So on the eraser tool, go to the background eraser tool. And I'm ready to go. Up here, it's discontiguous at a tolerance of 30%. 30% is ideal. 30% also works great with black hair. However, with blonde hair or gray hair, you're going to notice when you hit to remove the blue, it's going to also remove some of the hair. So you have to bring that tolerance level down from 30 to whatever works. I wish I had an example of that. I meant to bring that up, but trust me, when you're doing grays or blondes, they're a lot less forgiving. But this woman, this hair is going to work out great. So I select the crosshairs in the area where there is no hair, and you'll get a little ghosting there, but I just go around, clipping out all the blue. And that's the rough addition. Now what I do is I go in and take care of any flyaways. Don't worry about that blue halo at this point. Just grab my basic eraser tool with a fine edge. That's good. 81% is good. And at 100%, I'm just going around. I'm not cutting out all the flyaways. You don't want it to look like it's chopped out. But I am getting rid of some of the crazy ones. And this thing here, that little bump. Oops, Command Z. Let's get that again. That's done. Now let's go. Let's move this over. Oh. All right, and again, increasing the size a little bit, keeping the flyaways, but not too much of it. And she's just about done. I've done this file before, and the one weird part is this little bump here. See that? Where the circle is? I didn't like it. I could liquefy that out, but screw it. I'm just going to do it this way. And this area right here, it's a little distracting, so hopefully I can make that look somewhat normal. Yeah, let me just clean that up. Alright, she's pretty good. Now we have the blue halo. So to get rid of the blue halo, on the layer section, lock her layer. Boom. Grab the eyedropper tool, get a selection of her hair color, as you can see right here on the palette. And then with your brush, go to color. I like to go 80% on this, so just 80. And then just go around the blue halo. You know, just do it a couple times, get it all nice and pretty. Now on blonde hair, you're going to have to set that eyedropper tool twice. The shadow side versus the highlight side are going to be two totally different colors. And you might have to bring down the saturation on the shadow side on blondes because it will just look too saturated. You'll see what I mean when you do it. Again, I wish I brought up a blonde here. If you need it, I can do another video for you, but you'll see it when you get it. And then she has some openings here in her hair that can be a little distracting, so I'm just going to wipe those out so we don't see them. Right here we have one. Oops, what's going on? No. Take care of that later. Get rid of the dandruff. Boom, boom. She has some strays in her neck. Just try to minimize. I'm not going to do all of them. Just get the crazy ones out of the way so it doesn't look like she has a hairy chest. And she looks pretty good. So there's the basic. On this woman, which is kind of a different thing, she, oops, hang on. She has Invisaligns. So there are those braces. Yeah, lovely. Simple fix. Just get rid of the black edges on the Invisaligns as much as possible, and then fix that later. It's a nice little bonus. Invisaligns on a chick. I'm just going to grab my cloning thing here and just smooth out some of those so it doesn't look like she has chopped teeth. Okay, she has a crumb here in the lip. See you later. Alright, she's looking good. Alright, now we have to incorporate her with the law firm background. So on the background here, the gray that I used for the retouching, getting rid of it. And I think I have the background here somewhere, do I? Where'd it go? Yes, I do. It's back here. Alright, this is the McGuire Woods background. So grab the background, drop it in, change layers, bring her up front. And you can see an issue with her already, which is no big deal. Hang on, let me readjust the background. Okay, it's a little small. Hang on. Scale. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Okay. And bring this up. Remember, McGuire wants the highlight around the neck area. Now on her, as you can see, there is a halo around her head, as you can see. So I just grab the burn tool here, bring it up a little bit, and I just burn that halo right out of there. Come on. See ya. Later. So she is now all set. Finally, what I do, and her skin tone is really good, but I'd like to add a little highlight to the face light. And I think we went over this last time on the McGuire Woods effort. I take the lasso tool at 50%, and on the shadow side, I select this area, Command H to hide it, and just brighten up a little bit more. She doesn't need much at all. The skin tone looks great, but just keep that in mind. So now her skin tone is nice and even. Deselect that, and then I sharpen her up about 60, approximately. 71 ahead of that, whatever. But before and after, looks nice and poppy. So there it is. This is the PDF finished file. So we're going to save that in the folder. And all the folder stuff, I'll let you know all that. Also the electronic background, they haven't selected one yet, and obviously you'll get that. So now her Photoshop file's done. Now we have to do the 5x7. So layer, flatten image. Oops. Whoops, already did it. Really good. All right. I have a preset on the crop in 5x7 here. Where is it? Right there. And keep in mind, remember when we went through this with McGuire? We normally put the center cross of the crop. Let's make it bigger so you can see. Right on the chin. So we know that everything's uniform and centered. Also left and right. Make sure she's pretty well centered as well. Crop it up. And we save that as her underscore 300 and JPEG. And the final effort is the website crop, and we will let you know what those dimensions are at 72 dpi. But this one's the McGuire Woods. Crop that up. I'll save as. Let me save that as 72.jpg. So that's it, man. That's doing a file. Doesn't take that long. Pretty quick. If you need help with blondes and grays, let me know. But I think you'll see it when you do it. You'll realize, oh yeah, I got to bring down the tolerance on that background eraser tool. So, have any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, there's my dog, and I need to go now. So I'll find you later, man. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.